to address the elephant in the room. I'm the hottest person in the world.
Cue the laugh.
It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful.
Like, who has been the most exciting person for you tonight?
Oh my God.
Besides, but shut took the words out of my mouth. Besides
Rachel Zegler's career. A ride so wild it's got more twists than a Kendrick Lamar verse. From being Disney's Golden Girl to catching heat over Snow White, and now pulling a bold move to flip the narrative on the London stage, Rachel Zegler's story is a masterclass in fame, failure, and fierce comebacks. So buckle up, because this ain't your regular tabloid rundown. This is the unfiltered breakdown of Rachel Zegler's bold move. And the fans, the flops, the finesse. Let's get into it. Let's start where it all hit the fan. Disney's live-action Snow White. Supposedly, it finally squeaked past the $200 million mark globally. Sounds decent on paper, right? But let's be real. In Hollywood math, that's embarrassing.
All the people who are up in my DMs trying to guess what character I'm playing, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna answer your DMs. If you have any opinions, I don't want to hear them. I'm like so ready to just throw my phone away. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be on a talk show tonight and I'm gonna talk shit about them on the talk show. Talking shit on the talk show. This is the one time in my life where if you have something to say, I don't want to hear it.
Now, depending on where you look, you'll see different figures. Some sources like Variety placed it around $195 million, while Box Office Mojo generously clocked it at $200.2 million. But even if we take the higher number, which is being wildly generous, this movie is still deep in the red. Why? Because that $260 to $269 million production budget, that was before the reshoots. Once those were factored in, the real cost likely skyrocketed closer to $300 million. Disney will get some of that cash back through tax incentives, sure, but that's like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound.
But it's also really important to me that I share with you not only the really good, exciting moments, but also like the little blips where I just don't feel great. I think that's really important that you see me as a human being, because I think a lot of people don't. So I don't know. I want that disclaimer out there. I don't want people to see me as ungrateful or anything like that. I was nervous that that's what this makes me look like.
Then there's marketing, a beast in itself. Estimates peg that at another $100 million, minimum. And even with a toned-down campaign, likely due to the ongoing controversy, Disney still bled cash. So if we tally up the numbers, Rachel Zegler's Snow White made about $100 million after the theatres took their cut. But it cost them around $400 million in total. Yikes. That's a $200+ million hit, straight to the gut. So let's ask the million-dollar question. Why would Disney risk that kind of budget on a starlet who, respectfully, ain't proven herself at the box office? Rachel Zegler had a breakout role in West Side Story, no doubt. She even bagged a Golden Globe for it. But commercially, that film didn't do numbers. Then she snagged a role in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And again, while the buzz was there, the box office didn't exactly explode. So when Disney tapped her for Snow White, it felt like a forced coronation. The industry trying to make her happen, whether the audience was into it or not. And audiences, they weren't. Critics gave Snow White a limp 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oof, the audience score looked a bit better at 72%, but don't be fooled. That number came from a small niche crowd, mostly Disney diehards and PR-pushed fans. And Rotten Tomatoes recently changed how they calculate audience scores, so there's definitely some source in those stats. Real talk? When fans left the theatres, their reactions were brutal. Tweets called the film unrecognizable, a mockery of the original, and yet another lifeless remake. One viral post said, "This ain't Snow White, this is Snow Wrong. How do you butcher a fairy tale this bad?" And while Rachel didn't write the script or direct the film, she became the face of the backlash. Here's the thing, this disaster isn't entirely on Rachel's shoulders. The writing, terrible. The direction, confused, the tone, all over the place. Even Meryl Streep couldn't have saved this mess. Still, Rachel added fuel to the fire with her interviews. Remember that clip that went viral on X, formerly Twitter, where she said, "This Snow White isn't going to be saved by a man?" Yeah, that one. The internet exploded. People accused her of disrespecting the original, killing the magic, and pushing a Hollywood agenda. Now, was she really trying to be controversial? Or was she just caught up in the moment trying to sound woke and progressive? Either way, the damage was done. She became the poster child for everything people hated about modern reboots. And that's when she pulled the boldest move of her career. Enter Evita at the London Palladium. Rachel Zegler is now taking on the iconic role of Eva Peron in the revival of Andrew Lloyd Webber's legendary musical. A major shift from Hollywood blockbusters to live theatre. And one that raised more than a few eyebrows. This ain't just a side gig. The London Palladium is one of the most prestigious venues in the UK. Posters plastered across the city scream, starring Golden Globe winner Rachel Zegler, as seen in Disney's Snow White and Hunger Games. They're not hiding her Hollywood past, they're banking on it. But here's the kicker, nobody's buying tickets. Screenshots from the official ticketing site have been circulating on Reddit and TikTok. Every show in June, wide open, green lights across the board. One user commented, "You could bring your whole block and still get front row seats." Another tweet that went viral, "Not Rachel Zegler getting a whole West End lead and still can't sell out one night. This is a PR stunt gone wrong." And while some fans defended her, "She's talented, you're just hating," the majority weren't convinced. To them, this move felt desperate, not daring. This is where things get messy. There's a growing narrative that Hollywood is shoving Rachel Zegler down our throats. Not because of overwhelming talent, though she does have range, but because she fits a certain image. Young, diverse, articulate, politically aware, marketable. But audiences can smell inauthenticity from a mile away. They want to fall in love with stars naturally, not be told who to stan. An op-ed in The Guardian even asked, "Is Rachel Zegler the next big thing, or just the latest Hollywood experiment?" Harsh, but it speaks to a bigger issue in the industry, the balance between representation and authenticity. And it doesn't help that Rachel's online presence hasn't exactly helped her case. Fans have dug up old tweets, combed through interviews, and blasted her for being out of touch or too smug. Even Zendaya stans jumped into the convo saying, "This is why Z stays winning. She knows when to speak and when to chill." Fan forums, TikTok reactions, and gossip blogs are lighting up with debates. One user on Lipstick Alley posted, "I wanted to root for her, but it's hard when she's constantly throwing shade at the classics. If you hate Snow White that much, why even take the role?" Another chimed in, "Rachel got the juice, but she ain't got the sauce." But some still ride hard for her. A top comment on Instagram under her latest rehearsal video reads, "Y'all can say what you want. This girl got pipes and stage presence. Just wait till opening night." So here's where we're at. Snow White was a financial black hole. Her Hollywood image took major hits, and her bold pivot to the theatre world? Off to a rocky start. But Zegler ain't done. According to Deadline, she's still locked into a few upcoming film deals. There are whispers of a musical biopic in the works, and she's rumoured to be in talks with A24 for a more grounded indie project. A stark contrast to the blockbuster chaos she's known for. Sources close to her team told The Hollywood Reporter that Rachel's focusing on resetting her brand. They want her seen as a serious artist, not just the girl from a Disney remake that flopped. Whether she pulls it off, only time will tell. So here we are. Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the next big thing, is now facing the toughest chapter of her young career. But is she folding under pressure? Nope. She's making moves. Bold ones. Maybe too bold. From box office bombs to Broadway lights, Zegler's story is still being written. And while some fans have tapped out, others are waiting for her redemption arc, the kind of Hollywood comeback that legends are made of. But what do you think? Is Rachel Zegler misunderstood and underappreciated? Or is Hollywood trying to manufacture a star that just ain't clicking with the people? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear it all: the love, the shade, the receipts. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more of the hottest Hollywood gossip, NBA star relationships, and all the juicy drama your timeline lives for. This has been Celeb Titbits, and we'll catch you next time with another wild ride through fame, fashion, and fallout. Stay loud, stay curious, and keep those opinions coming.